Hey everyone, it's Renee from Sweet Pea Labs here, giving you a preview of the Continents and Oceans Digital Interactive Notebook. When you purchase this product, you will get two sets of slides. You will have a teacher set of slides and a student set of slides. They are very similar. There are just fewer slides in the student set of slides than there are the teacher set of slides. And the teacher set will contain everything that's inside the student set. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the teacher set of slides. Starting out here, this is for Google Slides, easily shareable in Google Classroom. I have all of the slides here on the left-hand side, which would be the notebook pages for your students. So we'll start out here with Continents and Oceans, just a title page for your students. In the teacher set, you'll have some teacher tips and tricks here talking about things like how to share your set of slides with your students and something to remind them to use the crosshairs, and that you can use your teacher set of slides on a screen or a screen share with them if you would need to give them extra directions or clarification. The student set of slides will have this welcome page next, just telling them that the notebook pages are on the left-hand side, that they can move things around on the notebook with crosshairs, and they're going to be asked to do things like type in words or move objects on a page. First slide here, starting out, just basically explaining, that our world is round like a ball so that they don't think it's flat, and that our world has land and it has water. So we have oceans and we have continents. We're going to start out with the continents here. This slide bar down here can be used for students to see the entire page. Oftentimes I will put information down here in the speaker notes as well. And I try to make as many slides as possible interactive for the students so they are paying attention to the information. So did you know there are 7 continents? Talk a little bit about what a continent is here. And then I have the students just drag numbers over to the corresponding number, basically counting out that there are 7 continents. Again, they can read there are 7 continents, but having them physically drag something and place it on top of a continent will help them engage with that information. Then we have an answer key here for the teachers so that they know exactly where those numbers go. And then we're moving on to the names. So now that they know how many continents we have, let's talk about the names. So I've got all the names here and they are color coded. Each continent will have a different color, and then that color stays consistent throughout the slides. So North America is always going to be this blue color. I have a great song here that is on YouTube that when I was teaching, the entire school memorized and was obsessed with this continent song. So check that out there. That's something that you can click on and listen to and easily get back into the slide deck. We start out with Asia, and for each of the continents here, I have just some information about the continents, some tidbits and facts. I've got a colored picture of the continent and then pointing to the continent on the world so that they can see in the world on a flat map where that continent actually is. And then after each continent, I will have an interactive piece. Seems pretty simple. It says drag and drop the triangle on Asia. But again, this is making the students interact and engage with the information that they just learned in the previous slide, right? It's so easy to just look at information and not really pay attention, but having a student move a shape onto the actual continent makes them pay attention to where they're going and where that continent is. Same thing with Africa, moving the circle. We've got North America, again, color coded to the previous slides that we've had. So each of the continents here has their facts and their information along with a corresponding slide and shape that they need to bring over to that continent on the map. And these are also listed in the order that they are sung in the song, which is listed in the order from biggest to smallest in the world. And then here we have a little bit of a wrap up since we just went through all 7 continents. Now we are going to drag and drop the shapes to the correct continents. So I've got a little key here. So Asia would be the triangle. So I'm going to move the triangle over. These shapes are the exact same shapes that they used in the previous slides. So now we're just making it comprehensive and putting it all together at the end so that they would drag all of their shapes over to create something like this. And this is your answer key as a teacher that you get in your teacher slide deck. We're moving on here, talking about our Earth being made up of 71% water, which most of that is oceans. Again, kids would read 71% and not really care. So I put a pizza on here so that they could see what 71% of a pizza actually looks like. So that's a lot of pizza, in comparison to what's not there. So just a little visual for them. And very similarly to the way we did with continents, we're talking about oceans. One interesting thing here with the oceans is that I do have 2 number 1s marking the Pacific Ocean. And over here I have an explanation talking about that this is a flat map, but our Earth is actually round and these 2 sides would touch. So they are the same ocean, in fact. So again, students would just look for the crosshairs here and move the number to the corresponding spot. Then here's your answer key. And again, just like the continents, they know how to see now that they are color coded. The Pacific Ocean is always going to be blue and then green for the Atlantic Ocean and so on. And just like I did for the continents, I have something similar here for the oceans, giving some tidbits and information about each of the 5 oceans that we're studying and then pointing to them on a world map. And again, moving an object to their corresponding spots. So that they, again, engage with that information. So going through the Atlantic Ocean, I'm using different pictures here, and then the Indian Ocean, Arctic, and the Southern Ocean. I made sure to explain this was the only ocean that goes completely around the globe. So they need to understand that this is the bottom of the Earth, right? So I showed this part. So that they understand that that ocean is completely surrounding Antarctica. And again, moving those pieces, putting it together just like the continents. So there's some continuity in the notebook for the students, dragging and dropping these shapes to where they belong on the map. The shapes correspond just like they did in the previous slides. So there aren't any surprises and they can go back and check if they need help. And here, kind of wrapping all of this up, we have a drag and drop of the names of all of the continents and all of the oceans. Students would simply just move the box to where it belongs, drag and drop. You've got your answer key here for a quick check. Then to sort of extend a little bit their knowledge that they may have learned from the facts and information presented in the notebook. I let them be the teacher and they're creating their own interactive slide here. So here they would type a question. So there are 3 different opportunities here for 3 different questions from information that they have gotten in the notebook, and they would type their answer here, and they can physically do this themselves if this was the corresponding answer, or they can have a partner or a friend, a family member, or what have you, move the answers over, completely up to them. And then just a quick explanation. Congratulations, you are now a continents and oceans experts, and thank you to our artist. That's all I have for you here. This goes along with information that was in another geographic notebook that I made. So check out all of my digital notebooks in my store. All right, take care.